We're recording.
Oh yes, this is 7 minutes. Green thumbs up. 8 minutes. 8 minutes is the yellow one. And then that is at 9 minutes. So you have a minute after you see the pink X to wrap up your speech.
I thought minimum was 6.
No, minimum 7. Minimum 7.
Wow.
Okay? All right. I think we're ready to go when you are. Okay.
Hi guys, I want to ask you some questions. How many of you guys like awesome coffee? Right? Everybody. How many of you guys like good food? Yes, everybody. Look at how amazing this waffle is. Well, obviously you guys like those two things. You guys are really smart people. Because you like quality food. Today I'm going to be talking about why Cafe Bien is my favorite restaurant. Okay, so why eat at Cafe Bien? First, I'm going to be telling you about a little bit of history, how it all began, what is in the food, the dishes they are known for, the great coffee they have, and their achievements that they've accomplished as a restaurant. So how it all began. Not only is Cafe Bien my favorite restaurant, it's also owned by my sister-in-law, Lindsay Cavazos, and her friend, executive chef Ernesto Duran. So they both have restaurant experience. Lindsay started working at Maloney's back in 2005. So she was working there for about 8 years, I believe. And Ernesto has been a chef for 10 years. Most recently, before Cafe Bien, he was the chef de cuisine at the Hyatt Regency in downtown. So they both brought their experience together and wanted to do something that their generation hadn't done before, which is make modern food, like good food, good quality food. They started with Fine Creations. So Fine Creations was a catering company. Their food was really, really good. It's well known. And they got so big, not big, but well known, that they started hosting small parties for celebrities. So they hosted and catered a party for a director. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. For one of the directors for Captain America. I know he did that, Captain America Winter Soldier. And they hosted a party for one of the Breaking Bad actors. His name is Gus in the Breaking Bad show. So I think his name is Giancarlo Espinosa. Yes. So they did that for them. He also cooked for President Obama. He's cooked for President George Bush Jr. Or the Jr. Yeah. the most recent one. And his food is very well known, and he's known for having quality food, making quality food. So what are you eating? At Cafe Bien, there's farm fresh fruit. All of the fruit and veggies are farm fresh, organic. We get them from the cafe gets them from this farmer named David Tucker here in Albuquerque. The meat is from local meat markets, especially from Kaiser Farms, which is a meat farm. I guess they raise pigs the natural way. They don't give them antibiotics or hormones, anything like that. So it's quality food, quality meat. Their bread is always fresh from local bakery. It's El Dorado. They also have homemade dressings and sauces. All of their entrees are made from scratch. So these are the signature dishes. This is the bacon and eggs entree. It's pork belly, and that's from the belly that we get from the pig we get from Kaiser Farms. The biscuits and gravy, the homemade biscuits, are homemade every morning with chopped green chili. They're amazing. That's my favorite one. That's why I put it in the middle. They have breakfast burritos, the waffle they're well known for, and they have the croissant sandwich, and that one's a little healthy. It doesn't look as healthy, but it has egg whites, roasted tomatoes, mozzarella. It's really good. All of their fries as well are seasoned to perfection, and they're like hand cut. So they're so good. For lunch, they have the caprese salad. You can get it in a sandwich also. It's a mozzarella with roasted tomatoes, and I'm going to give you a sample of that in a little bit. You can get it with tuna, shrimp, anything you want. For vegans and vegetarians, they have that option too. They have it for breakfast, but for lunch, they have the vegan hash. It has soy riso and tofu, and it's amazing. So vegan hash is amazing, and I'm not vegan. They have the taco trio. You can pick from any meat you want in your tacos, and it comes with salsa, guacamole, creme fraiche they make in-house. It's amazing. Yes. So everyone needs their coffee fix. Cafe Bien serves New Mexico Pinon coffee, and that coffee is like roasted Pinon coffee. It's amazing. Isn't it amazing? It's so good. They also serve Marley coffee for their cappuccinos and lattes. And Marley coffee is, do you guys know what Marley coffee is? No, you've never heard of it? Well, it's Rohan Marley's coffee brand. He's Bob Marley's son. And I'm pretty sure. And just like he says, just like music, coffee should inspire you and make you move. So why wouldn't you want to come to Cafe Bien and have Marley coffee? That's cool just to say you have Marley coffee. It's cool. So their achievements, 3-2 Albuquerque Chef Knockout Competition. They won the Hot Plate Award for Best Sopapilla in the Albuquerque magazine. They have an original recipe that's coming out. It's featured in the Delicious New Mexican Cookbook written by Dave Dewitt. The 2014 Albuquerque Magazine Best Undiscovered Restaurant, Top 5 2014 Albuquerque the Magazine Best Chef, and 2014 Albuquerque Magazine Best New Restaurant. This is a little article that they wrote in the Alibi. You guys know what the Alibi is, right? Well, there's this journalist that came in, and he was skeptical. I'm sure you've seen the hotcakes for $11 on your menu. He starts by saying, okay, hotcakes for $11, pancakes for $11, really, guys? By the end of this article, he says it's worth like every bite that you have for $11. So you guys have to try it. And then, so why eat at Cafe Bien? You're not only supporting your local business, but you're supporting my family, guys. Cafe Bien donates, like some of the money that we get from local, like the customers, we donate to local charities. I say we because it's my sister. I work there, and it's my sister-in-law. Yeah. So, and then you know what you're eating. You know that everything's farm fresh and everything's local. Convenient hours, they're open from Sunday through Saturday at 7 in the morning till 2 p.m. So you can go really early on a Sunday. And an enjoyable atmosphere if you guys want to study. It's huge. It has a bar top. It has 4 big screen TVs. It's really nice in there. And the delicious and unforgettable experience. Sometimes you guys don't want to cook or want to have breakfast. You know, sometimes you want to be catered to, and Cafe Bien could definitely cater to you. That's it. And then let me show you this video. So I was talking about the caprese salad, the mozzarella and roasted tomatoes. I'm going to give you a sample, and this is how Chef Ernesto makes it. He pulls it fresh, so it's pretty cool.
I'll put this in here, and then I'll just pour.
That's the mozzarella.
Just very submerged. And that will be my process.
Because does it balance because of the different temperatures in the water?
Yeah, what I do is I keep something over here always, and it won't be as hot as that, and it'll cool down so I can handle it, as well as it won't like completely melt. You can feel right here the cheese. Once you put your hand in there, you can feel it, how it's kind of soft.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
And I want to eat it.
Yeah, so it's already getting to that point where it feels like mozzarella cheese.
Okay.
You know, so right now I'll just start forming the balls and put them on the cutting board.
Now, when you form them, is it a difficult process or is it pretty?
You know, one of my cooks at the Hyatt taught me. He showed me and he said that he watched some YouTube on it. So I can't claim to be a pro at it, you know. So I put it back in, I let it get soft, and then I pull it out, and I just, you know, kind of just
Squeeze it.
and then it's soft enough where it just
So
you
cool.
know, will form all on its own.
Watch
Okay.
it.
You want to try one?
Kind of.
You want to see
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
you do?
you bet I do.
Pull it out. The water's kind of
There you
hot.
go.
Okay, then I
Yeah,
just
bro.
whip it through?
Yeah, it's
Like
pretty
it.
good. It's fast.
That guy's so funny.
What do you think, Anthony?
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Drop it back in and it gets soft again, and then it'll form.
And then I
You really want to squeeze
You're
it
much.
Yeah, you
to
try
pop it
like,
off.
you almost have to like, reckon.
So yeah, that's basically, he stretches it so he makes like the mozzarella out of curd that you get from like it's called Bountiful Cow, and he like makes it and stretches it for I don't know how long, and he puts a lot of love into his food.
Wow.
And that's the mozzarella that you're eating.
That's really
He made it today.
Well,
That's
nice. We're good, baby. All right. I have a little surprise for you. We're just gonna go down the list. We're just gonna follow the list.
Wait.
I was about to put it.
Live food,
go last.
I'll switch
Okay.
with him. I'll switch names with him.
Tell you what, since volunteerism isn't a high point, so we'll go you next, and then we'll go you next. Sure, fourth.
So no questions? We don't do
Oh,
questions?
yeah, sure, any questions?
Oh, just gonna be
You can do questions.
Can I have
absolutely.
another
I have
one?
questions.
How far is it from campus?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, it's right here down Central, so it's gonna be on 4th Street. It's
Is it walkable?
downtown. It's like busable.
How long is it? Yeah, how far would it go?
It's like right on 4th Street, so I'm gonna say like.
You can definitely walk down to Fourth
Is it by the
Street
theater?
if it was
Yeah.
during the day.
I wouldn't suggest.
Yeah, you can. There's a high school,
Not walk
there's a
down
high school
Central
right
to
behind it,
4th.
and they walk over here. I see them walk to the university all the time, so. Like the students, it's a group.
I'll map it.
Right here.
Do you know where the movie theater is?
Yeah.
It's right, I know it's right next to Distillery. Oh, they don't know, huh?
Yeah, straight up. I don't know.
Do you know where the movie theater is?
Yeah,
Y'all got smartphones.
yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I'll
oh, and I gave you guys a 20% discount, you just turn it in and they'll give you
Oh,
a
that's so nice.
discount on it.
You mention your name, can we get more discounts?
If four of us go together. I know.
But she's family. We're all family.
This table though.
Guys,
This is good food.
did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, super
I
good.
just got like,
The mozzarella.
I got like, I can probably afford like one thing.
Student discount.
I wanted that this year.
You wanted to go.
You take level cash.
Yeah.
$90.
Yeah,
Level
Got the new plans.
Is it supposed to be red?
Yeah.
We're trying to get my food shot.
Oh shoot. Walgreens.
I can't get
No,
push
it's free.
ups.
They're doing it for free. They're doing it for free.
I'm next to you and I don't get sick.
You can eat them.
And if I do,
It's just,
I don't.
no, you
You just said you could put
Yeah.
Yeah. Drink some Sprite.
Back for
Don't, if you guys are doing it, don't come near me.
Okay.
No, get the vapor rub
Did
and
everyone
Sprite
get one?
and straight.
Honey, lemon.
Oh, the,
Put it together, man. Alright.
Okay.
Alright.
Good.
Okay, my name's Marissa, and I'm going to convince you to get your flu shot this year. Okay, so how many of you have had the flu in your lifetime? Yeah, it sucks, right? You're sick for like 2 weeks. Sometimes I always got vomiting with it, so I was always sick to my stomach. I slept for like hours all day, all night, and my mom had to dose me Tylenol, ibuprofen around the clock because my fever was ridiculous. It sucks. So when I was 10-year-old me, and they go, oh, we have a flu shot. I was scared of shots at that point, so I'm like, no, I don't want a shot. My mom tells me, oh, you won't get the flu if you get this. And so I thought, oh, okay, that's great. And so I'm here to tell you that you can avoid those symptoms and be sick for 2 weeks if you get a simple vaccine. So you might be wondering if it's worth it. So I know that a lot of people are afraid of needles. I am one of those people. I know some people are like, oh, I don't have time, or oh, I'll get around to it later, and then never do. But this is going to protect you from an illness that can cause you to be sick for weeks and can cause you to be very tired. You'll miss school, you'll miss work, so you'll get behind in your studies. You're not going to be able to make as much money because you're not going to be at work, so you're going to lose money as well. And so by getting the flu shot, you can avoid having to spend that time being sick because you will not be sick, you'll be healthy. And so you'll only be suffering from colds, which is something that you can kind of tolerate with, not, throwing up, body aches, chills, fever kind of ordeal. And also, you will help to protect others from getting the flu, because if you get vaccinated, you're at a lower risk for contracting the flu, and even if you do contract it, it's going to be a much milder virus compared to the full-strength one. So by getting the flu shot, you're also protecting others who might not be able to get the vaccine, who maybe didn't get the vaccine, or people who have their immune systems aren't as strong. Babies under 6 months can't get vaccinated. So if you know a baby under 6 months, or maybe you interact with it and go, oh, how cute, you could have passed the flu on to that baby, and they can't get any protection because they're too young to get the flu shot. So by getting it, you're helping your community and you're helping other people to not get sick. All right, so Is the flu really that common? About 5 to 20% of the population gets the flu each year, and about 200,000 people are hospitalized due to flu-related complications. And so that's things like pneumonia, dehydration, their fever spiking and getting really high, and they have to go to the hospital for that. So that could be you if it gets bad enough, especially for people who have asthma. I know that I'm more at risk if I get the flu to get pneumonia, so that would be something I'd have to go into the hospital for. The deaths for the flu ranged from about 3,000 to 49,000 a year, and that's from 1976 to 2006, and that was a study that was done by the CDC. The reason for the range in the statistics is because the flu severity changes from season to season. So sometimes we have a really, really mild flu season, not a lot of people get it, people are feeling good. Sometimes it's terrible, lots of people get sick, lots of people have to go to the hospital. And it's very bad for the population overall, and you could be one of the people that gets it, and you interact with a lot of other people. You're contagious before you even know that you're sick, so you can be passing it on to people that you interact with, share drinks with. I mean, we all like kind of just share everything. If you're friends, it's like whatever. But you could be passing on the flu if you haven't been vaccinated against it. So I'm going to just address the reactions because I know there are lots of rumors that go around, one of them being that autism is caused by vaccinations, and also that, oh, my friend's cousin's dad's uncle's cousin's second daughter got an allergic reaction, and I'm not sure if I want to take that risk. So the most common reactions that occur is going to be in about 95% of cases, so that's going to be pain, tenderness at the site of the injection. Some people get a rash, and you get muscle group tenderness, which is basically where your whole muscle is going to hurt where you got the injection, which is going to be in your deltoid. So you get that for a couple days. It's manageable. We all walk around with sore muscles all the time after you do a particularly difficult workout, or maybe you had to run to class instead of walk because you overslept. And so soreness is something that's kind of tolerable. In regards to the more dangerous side effects, only 1.2 out of 1 million people actually get a more dangerous reaction, such as an allergic reaction or Guillain-Barré syndrome. So you have a 0.0012% chance of actually getting one of the more severe reactions. And the people who normally have the more severe reactions have known allergies to things in the vaccination, so they're already being monitored for those particular things. Quick sidebar, autism for vaccinations is not a thing. There was one paper released by one UK professor who did a study on 8 kids and decided that yes, autism and vaccinations are linked. Since then, many studies have come out to show that autism and vaccinations have no correlation whatsoever. The mistake might have been because a lot of kids are now diagnosed with autism around the time that they're getting their shots, and they're getting a lot of them, so that's where the correlation comes from. But you're at no risk to get autism, and anybody else, or your kids, anyone else you know, not going to get autism from getting a flu vaccine. Okay, so cost. We're all poor college students. I know that when I go to the doctor, I'm here over at the SAC, so I pay $15 when I go to see the doctor. Thinking about going in and getting a shot for 30 seconds and having to pay $15 for that sounds like a little much compared to, I don't know, spending my money on pita pit or food or something I actually need, right? So there's a couple other options that are available for you for ones that do cost money but you're scheduled, and also free, and those are on the flyers that I gave you with all the dates and the times. So Walgreens offers shots, it's by schedule, and you might have to pay a copay depending on your insurance. So you can go in, get your flu shot, and for those of you who have kids, it's from the ages 6 and older. If not, they have to get a special note from the doctor to say that they're allowed to vaccinate them. Currently, UNM Hospital is offering free flu clinics through November 17th. Those are going to be between the hours of 11 and 2. Any kids over the age of 6 can go ahead and go in, get vaccinated. You can go in, get vaccinated, and then, one shot, and you're protected for the rest of the flu season. If walking over to UNM is too much for you, you can do the SAC-free flu shot clinic, which is going to be on the 2nd and the 3rd. There was actually one today. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to talk about that one, but it's between the hours of 10 and 2. It's going to be in the sub. You can go in, get your flu shot in between classes, and that's it. So it's not time-consuming for you, and you don't have to pay anything for it. You have to answer a quick questionnaire. They go, okay, stick you in the arm, put a Band-Aid on it, and you're, muscle soreness, and you're good for the rest of the year. All right, at this point, we're kind of coming up with excuses as to why we're not going to get our flu shot. So, but I'm scared of needles. I personally was very scared of needles. At one point, I pulled away from the doctor when he gave me a shot and almost stuck my mom in the arm. Don't do that. Very dangerous. But, you know, it's scary. Shots are scary. And so there's an option called flu mist. The difference between those two and kind of the downfall of them is it's in your nose, it goes in your nose, it's a nasal spray, and it is a live virus. So if you have any chronic health conditions such as asthma, you can't get or it's not advised by some providers to give the flu vaccine or the flu mist, because it is given in the nose and it's a live virus. Like, I have to get the shot because my doctor doesn't suggest that I get the flu mist. The other problem is that right now the flu mist is kind of in short supply in the US. So if you were going to get the flu mist done, it's going to take you a little while probably to find somewhere. I know at my pediatric clinic where I work, we're not going to get another order until like December. So we just have the vaccinations at the moment. But really, if you're very scared of needles, benefits outweigh the cost. You get you get stuck in the arm, it's 2 seconds, you work yourself up over it for much longer than it actually hurts. You get some pain in your arm. If it's really bugging you, you can take some ibuprofen, and that's it. So you're not going to miss school, you're not going to infect other people that could possibly have more health complications, and it could result in them being hospitalized because of it. And so you're protected, people around you are protected, and so you're not only benefiting yourself, but everyone else around you, and you can get it for free, and it's of no cost to you, and you can get it done during school hours. So get vaccinated.
All right, yay!
42.
Okay, do we do questions or?
Yeah, questions. Any questions?
Yes.
Do you have to have like all your previous shot history to get out of the shack?
No. So for the flu vaccine, it doesn't require that you have any of your previous shot records for it. They just want to know if you've had one in the past couple years, because if not, then you have to get a second dose about a month later just to make sure that you're fully protected. But other than that, you can go ahead and just walk in. Yes?
You're not doing any more free shots in October?
Sorry?
You're not doing any more free shots in October in the shack?
No.
October's over.
Yeah, so for
November
the,
starting.
for the SAC, it's going to be just on November 3rd and 4th. So if you have Monday classes or breaks during Monday or Tuesday classes, it's an opportunity to come in. What? Second and third, sorry. And it's I put like a little thing on there, and it says take one for Raymond, I believe. And so that was a student that went here, and he contracted the H1N1 virus. And so his parents set up a fund of money because he ended up passing away from the virus. So they said take one for Raymond, so everyone gets vaccinated, and they fund it so that we can receive them for free.
I have a question. So
Yes.
What is the flu shot exactly?
It's essentially they pick out through this process of statistics essentially what they think are going to be the most common flu strains during the year. And so they put it into the shot. It's all dead inactivated virus. It's usually about 4 or 5. There's different kinds of flu shots depending on if you have allergies to things. They have one specifically for egg allergies, and then one for just kind of the general population, and for kids or adults or older adults that are at risk. And so essentially it's the inactivated flu virus that's in the vaccine.
Okay.
It also has latex in it, because I'm not allowed to get them.
Whoa.
Just saying.
Is it what?
If you guys
Yeah.
are allergic to latex, don't get flu shot.
Yeah, eggs, gelatin, if you're allergic to any antibiotics, they need to know too, because those can cause a reaction. But usually they can get it, I don't know about in your case, but if you only get like a mild reaction like hives, they'll normally just monitor you in the office and control the reaction from there. But you have to go to your doctor's office for that.
Oh, very good. I think you
Michelle.
Yeah, you're third.
Just finish the bottle. You're wasting your money.
Do you? I'm just like, who likes cookies? Yes.
Okay.
Be honest with me. I usually come to be
Lord
like,
is listening.
how many like you see what be like, what you gonna do?
Yeah. No, I wanna be-
Ready?
Okay.
Yes.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So, just in case you forgot, my name is Michelle. But my speech is about basically eating at home instead of eating at a restaurant. And in my title, I have more money, better life, and money is the main point in my speech, but it's not the first one. My first one is you gain cooking skills. So I actually, when I moved out of my family's house, I didn't really know how to cook. I just kind of did because I would watch other people do it, like in my family, and I learned from them, but that's kind of learning, not really, because you actually have to do it yourself to actually know how to do it. But now, I actually know how to cook because I've been doing it a lot this semester. I couldn't do it last semester because I was really busy, and I understand that, especially if you're a college student and you're working at the same time and you also have like extracurricular activities. It's really hard. But once you gain cooking skills, you can like totally impress your significant other by like throwing them a romantic dinner. But not only that, you can impress them and they give you like a whole bunch of compliments to feed your ego and get you confident. But you can also impress your boss, or you can hold dinner parties for your friends, and then like who knows, that could totally lead to something else. And it actually like better. It actually builds your relationships. You get to bond with those other people. However, if you're doing cooking for your boss, I recommend don't doing this because that might be kind of weird for them. But if you actually get better at cooking throughout time and over time, you can actually become famous and have your own cooking show. And I didn't realize this afterward, but I totally picked Paula Deen on accident. Cause like she was the first person that popped in my head, but then I realized, oh wait, she lost her cooking show due to other reasons besides her cooking. But yeah. But I mean, the potential's there. If you practice enough and work hard at it, you could potentially have your own cooking show. But who knows? That's later on. Also, another thing is that it's healthier for you. It is so much healthier for you than actually going out. Of course, some restaurants are actually pretty healthy and they will tell you what's in their food, where they get it from and everything. But that's like big time restaurants, like actually really decent restaurants who will charge you enough money and you actually get a good amount of food for your money. But let's say if you go to like McDonald's or some other fast food restaurant, they are obligated to basically tell you what's in their food. But sometimes, for the most part, when you look at those food items, they have really big words in there you don't know what it means. So, kind of iffy. And to also show you how really bad like the food is, well, I just took a food label from a Big Mac box, but this is just a Big Mac. It's not the fries or the drink. Obviously the drink wouldn't really have a lot in it, maybe the sugar, but since you guys are kind of far away, it sucks. But right here is the daily value for total fat, and it's 47% of your daily value, and that's if you're on a 2,000 calorie based diet. Most of you probably aren't. It's probably lower. I know mine is because I only eat probably once a day. So mine is lower than this. So instead of it being 47% for me, it's probably going to be a range between 60 to 80%. And I only know that because I'm taking nutrition now. And if you look at the fat that's in it, it's not good fat for you. It's saturated in trans fat. That is really bad fat for you. The saturated fat, you need a little bit of it in your body, but it's hard for your body to actually break it down. Trans fat, your body doesn't need that at all. And yet it's still in our foods because it's easy to produce. But the good fat that you need in your body is actually unsaturated fat. However, in most processed food places, that's not the case. But when you cook for yourself, you actually know what's going in your food. You don't have to guess, you know what it is. You might not know exactly where it comes from right at the store, but it's still way healthier than picking at a fast food restaurant and not knowing or having any idea where it's coming from. The next one is that you actually save money. This is from my title. So when you save, you save a ton of money. So I did on average, I looked this up, on average for one person, you spend about $150 on groceries that will last you 2 weeks. So for the whole month, that's like over $300. But for me, since I don't actually eat that much, I actually spend less than $150 on groceries that last me 2 weeks. And I also looked up the average of the cost of eating out for one person for one meal, and that's $12.75. So if you're one of those people who actually doesn't have time to cook or eat, and you eat 3 meals a day, and you say you're going out basically every day, so the cost for that for 1 week is $267.75. That's a lot of money because that's 1 week, whereas you can spend $150 on groceries for 2 weeks. 2 weeks of food. So my guess is that you range about, I put $100 here, that's wrong because I forgot that was only 1 week. So it's actually going to be $200 to $300, but imagine what you could do with that money. If you're smart, you can put like half of that in the bank and save it for later if you're really responsible, or you can be like me and use it to go shopping, or probably go see your family, watch movies, go bowling, just something fun. You know, we're college students, it gets stressful. So you can always do that. But overall, guys, like just try to make sure that you actually know what you're eating. I'm not saying you can't go out to eat. It's actually advised to go out to eat probably 1 to 2 times a week because then you can still build your social skills and you don't feel like you're all alone all the time. But again, you can gain cooking skills. You can always impress other people with this. They give you compliments. It's always nice. I always feel good about it afterward. I don't know about you guys. But it's also way healthier, again. But then again, also when you're buying healthy food, you don't have to buy this healthy food. Of course, at the store, you can always buy the junk food too. That's always an option. I don't really buy chips, but I do buy cereal and stuff. And you don't actually have to cook for that. You just literally just pour the cereal and get milk for it next to you and you're done. It doesn't take that much time. And again, you save a ton of money. Imagine what you can do with all that money that you save. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do, but I hope it's fun and kind of more responsible than me anyway.
All right. Did you already give me your outline?
No, I have it in my bag. 7:15.
Yes. Yeah, that's fine.
Does that mean me?
Huh?
Does that mean me?
No,
Okay.
we got 4th, 5th, 6th. 4th.
You said I want to go fourth. Did you not? Do you not insist on going fourth?
Thank you.
Oops.
I'm not totally.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an engineer Garabito, and I'm here to talk to you today about how home-cooked food is good for you people, the audience. So let me ask one quick question. How many of you enjoy cooking? Now you don't have to lie. That's fine. But yeah, I used to not really enjoy cooking, but it's definitely a practice that's with my family. My dad's who cook, my mom cooks too sometimes. So I kind of got into the practice. Now I'm definitely out of practice, which, you know, is why I make these quesadillas. It's really simple. It's something you can easily make. But yeah, it does take practice, and it really is fun. So I'm going to explain to you why it sounds good for you. It's good for you more than just physically, mentally, fiscally, in all ways. It's just really beneficial to you. So what cooking at home can do for you, and what it's all about, is just how it's better, it's more superior than going out to eat in the ways of quality, quantity, and time. So the big stigma behind that is that, oh, cooking takes too long. I'm going to prove to you that there's techniques to get around that. So the first thing I'm going to hit is that it's delicious if you make it right. No, that's because it's delicious anyways, because if you have some practice at it, you know what you want, and you're guaranteed to get what you like. You can go to restaurants like, oh man, I said no tomatoes, they put tomatoes. So that can be some bad thing. So, but another big thing when it comes to cooking at home is that it's pretty much guaranteed fresh, right? Because you buy the groceries, you make it yourself, it's fresh. And it's also made with love. It always adds a flavor. It's a real science thing behind it. Like, you can ask any chef, like, oh, I made that with love, it's better. And like I said, it's how you want it. Another thing with homemade food is that it's very nutritious depending on how you shop. If you go to the grocery stores, one common rule of thumb is to shop the walls. That's where all the healthier and good food is. And so you can get the fresher ingredients, and it's also healthier produce in general. And going out to, let's say, Burger King, like those are like the low-end restaurants. If you do go to the high-end restaurants, like I heard Cafe One's really good, you know. Like you probably have some question too, but again, that's going to cost a little bit of money. But you're guaranteed all the good stuff. They're going like simple, like Kmart or Walgreens or wherever you shop food. Now another thing that goes on with nutrients is kind of rolls into how healthy it is, and that all depends on how you make it. You can make it really gross and really greasy and delicious, or you can make it not so pleasing and healthy like that lady. She probably has it. Yeah, it's healthier more than just physically. It's also mentally and spiritually healthy. Like it is a stress reliever when you cook, because sometimes cooking itself is very stressful. When you are done with that and you have like a product that you're happy with, it's delicious. It's almost like a little treat to yourself. And there's actually a thing called cooking therapy. That's used. Therapy is used behind the method to help people get over certain type of traumas, because it's so engaging and all the stimuli, like smell, touch, everything you can think of cooking engages in all the stimuli. So it can help very spiritually too. And cooking is very essential. It's an essential skill to have. Like it really is, because one, if you need if you're like Will Smith and trapped in Wild Wild West, you have to learn how to cook lizards that you caught, because you have to eat lizards because you're out there in the Wild Wild West. So if you're stuck anywhere like Survivor Man, it's good to know how to cook, because it is a survival skill, but it's also very attractive. I mean, really, you can just Netflixing grill with your girl. And it is something that ladies know, right? So it is an essential skill to have. And the last thing about cooking is that it's really fun. It could be fun. It's a very social thing. Like not to say that going out is not social. It's probably a little more social, but fun. But cooking at home could be very social too. Just because you're out there in the kitchen, you need help, you get this, you wash that. Pull this out the oven. Anything you can think of. Cooking is very engaging to do it in groups, and you can also do it just by yourself. You can have fun, just jamming out, listening to whatever you listen to, just cooking your eggs or something in the morning. So it's also very fun. And also you discover new techniques, new tastes, and learning is always fun, right? For college. Now, this is the expense to when you go out to eat. Now, I'm not talking about the higher end restaurants are sure to have healthier stuff, but I'm focusing more on like the lower end restaurants where we mostly go or mostly can afford. So this chart is the U.S. obesity rate as it grows through 1960 to 2000. Is obviously an increase in both adults and children, and that is a kid at McDonald's, kind of big. So when it comes to fast food, it's made more chemically, it's more artificial, it's just not natural, it's not what you can make at home. And when you go out to those kind of restaurants, there's still a risk of having food poisoning if you die. So that's a potential risk. Now also the big stigma against home cooking, there's I read a little article where it said it asked 100 people why they don't cook at home. It's about 74% of them, actually about 82% of them said that it's because they don't have time. And there's definitely methods to get around that. Like you can get a crock pot, a slow cooker, take 5 minutes, just cut up some veggies, put water, broth, and some meat, throw it in there, and let it cook all day. By the time you get home, you have a fantastic meal. Or you can use the new wave oven. There's different technologies that cook turkeys in 20 minutes. It's ridiculous. And that's not, so there is ways to cook at home really quickly. But the thing I also want to get at is how fast food is not really fast. How familiar does that look? That's a line at Chipotle. Sometimes it can take 25 minutes before you get your food. Like you're going to the sub during lunch rush hours. That is ridiculous right there. So the time is all about perspective. It's how you work it and how you go around getting your food. Sure, fast food can be fast at 3 a.m. But most people are hungry. When you're hungry, you go out and go to fast food at a restaurant. It might be a waiting list. You might need a reservation. Just wait in line or whatever. What happened? Yes. lastly, probably the most important thing is the cost. Okay, so like another statement was like, oh, it costs money to go out and buy groceries and it costs time. That's not true. It's really cheap. Like 79 cents for the onions. It's really cheap. You don't need all day.
Yeah.
So it really is cheap. And then like right here's a graph of how food at home versus food going out in restaurants. It's pretty much the same, but then it doubles. Like the eating out almost doubles compared to eating at home, and that is up to 2013. So there's a big significant increase. Like the average cost to go out is $12.75. and then the average cost to stay at home and cook per person is $3. As much it is a day to cook per meal. So it's definitely cheaper. Now, I did a little thing, not really a thing, it's a study. I know. Anyway, so this is how much it costs to get McDonald's. So let's say 4 people. It's 20 piece chicken nuggets times 2, that's 40 pieces, 10 piece per person. So it's going to be over $10 plus tax, right? And that probably serves 4 people. That's kind of a weak meal. Right? 10 chicken nuggets, that's it, nothing else. Now with my quesadillas, or I said tortillas, it's wrong, quesadillas. The ingredients was tortillas, 20 count, ham, cheese. Total was $9, and that's because I had a Smith's Rewards card. It would have been $11. And that serves 10 people if each person is eating 2 quesadillas, which is, that's pretty filling at that point. So that's just more proof of how eating at home could be physically better than anything else. So make the right choice. Eat at home because there's that family engagement. There's that it's really spiritually, and it's calming to you. It engages all your senses, and you can eat better.
Yay!
Have yourself some tortillas. Those are
the picture?
No, I actually Googled homemade quesadillas because I didn't have the time. I made them like 20 minutes before class. So,
For them to be more fresh, right?
yeah, guaranteed fresh, but not it looked pretty.
Oh, and those you made?
Yeah, those I made it. Yeah.
Oh.
Are you gonna pass them out or?
Yeah, I walked.
Or not.
I'm over here just.
Or not.
I have a ham option and a cheese option.
All right.
Yes.
Any other questions?
I'm ready.
Hello.
Oh,
I didn't see you there.
How are you doing, Heidi? I hope you forgot it. Also, I can't talk today, so like literally every time I practice a speech, I just stumble over everything.
If you guys have no way beyond, what? You want to all just get food? Let's do that. So if you want to go get food, go get food right now.
Get some food.
There's
I'm just getting ready. Girls, yeah. So good. Bleach. What? What? Now, really the salsa and stuff. Okay, but bleach. I brought apples, and also everyone, I brought, well, I guess it was developed for all of you guys, not just for me, great. But I brought little egg omelet muffins. Some of them have tomato, and they all have ham and cheese and onion. So help yourself. There's also sausage in there.
Cheese.
No.
No.
For food purposes. Yeah, how many vegetarians do we have?
Eat a waffle every day to reading books.
Okay, alright. There's one more speech and it's a fun one, so it's probably irrelevant at this point, but.
Yo, where's my? Don't touch it yet. Just say it.
Did you forget about the
Just wait. Just wait.
No, I feel how to get the best right. And I've been trying to
What started the quesadillas or your tortillas, as you like to say? Yes.
He's just like, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I don't eat in the back.
I know, that's what I'm looking for.
Not good.
Can I go after?
I have no judgment.
at 9 because I have work.
There's
Just
like
saying,
no dinner on
I didn't know if we were.
You can go after and I'll love you.
What is the interim speech?
You go after and I'll love you.
Oh, okay. Is this Nicole?
That's the boy. That was good. That was late. I'll give you that one, dude. Netflix and grill.
You're like, can I go?
Netflix and grill, that was good.
And it was like, oh, she can get volunteer, but now it's like,
No, I just
I'm third on the list. I have not gone yet.
Yeah, you just put it right on your. Yeah, you need to like start.
See, I want to so stupid.
Another napkin, Nicole.
Smooth.
Grill.
Nobody gets that now.
Dude, yeah. What did that
That needs to be a shirt. Hey babe, Netflix and grill. Let's do it.
Yeah, hashtag Netflix and grill. Do you want it? It's nice, like pure water. I got like good flavors, dude. Not this one, it's not water.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth.
Okay, hold on. Work with me here. Okay, we're good.
Ready? Go. Hi, so my name is Nicole Chaplin, if you guys haven't figured that out in the amount of time this has been up there. And I'm here to talk to you about why you shouldn't hit the snooze button. So today, kind of guideline of what we're going to talk about. First, I'm going to talk about why 30 minutes really isn't worth it, no matter what you're telling yourself. We're going to talk about a much better way to wake up, and we're going to talk about why you should start this now, despite all of your concerns about all-nighters and whatnot. So first, a little pre-information before we get to the next part. So waking up causes several body changes, one of which is actually an increase in core temperature about 2 hours before you wake up, or before your body wants you to wake up. And so if your alarm goes off and you're not at that point, your temperature is a lot lower when you wake up than it's supposed to be, and that's why your bed feels so warm. Now, I need all of you guys to close your eyes. Close your eyes. You gotta work with me on this one. Close them, and I can see you. I see you. Okay. Oh, I was like, close them. Okay. All right. So imagine this: you're waking up. Okay. It's nice and crisp. Leech, stop moving your eyes. It's nice and crisp and cool, and you're nice and warm under your blanket. Okay, maybe you hear some birds outside. I don't know where you live. We don't have a lot of trees here, so 50-50. But you start to yawn and stretch. You kind of blink and smile as you're, starting to wake up. And you think, man, it must be the weekend. I get to wake up on my own time. And then you hear your alarm slowly fade and you go, oh, just kidding, it's Monday. You sit up, you turn off your 7:15 alarm, you hop out of bed, climb in the shower, get a nice breakfast, and you're off on your way to class feeling happy and refreshed. Go ahead and open your eyes and ask yourself, why is this not my normal morning? The reason is because you've conditioned yourself to be hitting the snooze button. And now we're going to take a look at what this actually does to your body and your brain. So first, your alarm goes off, your body kickstarts that warming up system. It starts to try and raise that temperature and get yourself to where you're supposed to be. Then you hit the snooze button. That basically tells your body, just kidding, we're doing nothing today, go back to bed. So you put your head back on the pillow, 5-10 minutes later, your second alarm goes off. Your body kickstarts that system again, you hit snooze again. You go back to bed and your body goes, oh, okay, really? False alarm, again, go back to bed. And the more and more you repeat this, the more and more confused your body gets. All right, and this is called sleep inertia, which I've redefined for us to be in more terms that you guys might relate with. First one, a groggy feeling brought on by the confusion your brain and body feel when you play tag with the snooze button. Second one, an inability to perform basic functions without internal or external groaning for 2 to 4 hours after waking up, i.e. getting out of bed. What does sleep inertia do? Why are we, bothered by this? Isn't the 30 minutes worth it even if I'm a little tired later? Well, first of all, like I mentioned, it lasts for 2 to 4 hours. For a lot of you guys, that's at least 1 class, maybe 2, even 3 for the overachievers. All right? And sleep inertia causes overall less brain activity. This impairs your comprehension. This makes you less alert throughout your class. And overall, this leads to a drop in GPA. So it's a much bigger deal than you're thinking, especially if you're here on scholarship. So if that's not what we should be doing, what should we be doing instead? And these are some of the tips and tricks that I've tried either in the last 2 weeks or over this semester so far. So a better way to wake up. First, you need a better alarm. You need a slow wake alarm. These start quietly to bring you out of that deep sleep and bring you to a lighter form of sleep. So once your alarm is loud enough, it's waking you up from much lighter sleep that won't cause that initial grogginess, which makes it easier to not hit the snooze button right away. Personally, I use the one on iPhone called Wake, and this also comes with an extra feature called Shake, where you have to literally shake your phone for, mine takes about 15 seconds for the alarm to turn off. So after having that much motion and having, sit up to get the force it takes to actually increase the bar, it definitely helps wake you up. For Android and Windows, these two both have really good reviews, the gentle alarm and the slow wake alarm clock. But if you end up not liking any of these, look in the description for something that says gradually increasing alarm volume or something along those lines. Because a lot of alarm clocks don't advertise it, but actually do include it. There's also really cool ones you can get on Amazon for like $70 that simulate sunlight, but we're forced college students and don't tend to have $70 to spend on an alarm clock that we just want to break in the morning. So another thing that you can try is taking a shower. Okay, this can actually, the warmth helps raise that body temperature to where it's supposed to be to help you feel alert. And if you want to go the extra mile, after you do your, cleaning up stuff, your hygiene stuff, you can go ahead and turn that temperature up just a little bit higher and kind of create a sauna-like atmosphere in the bathroom. That can help clear up senses, that can help relax muscles. It really has a lot of benefits to the body. And if you want to go even further, though it might be hard in these winter months depending on what kind of heating you have in your bathroom, at the end of it, you can do a full cold body rinse, and that helps kind of like a massage has on your muscles or an ice bath. It helps pull some of that tension out to give you a good start to the day. And finally, eating a good breakfast. This is the key to it. This gives you that short burst of energy that you need to finish getting ready in the morning, and that long-term energy that you need to get through your classes and get to lunch and get throughout the day. So now, what is a good breakfast? Well, a good breakfast, you're going to want to include some short-term energy and some long-term energy, like I just mentioned. For example, for short-term energy, we have most of the fruits, including blueberries, bananas, a lot of the nuts like almonds, pumpkin seeds, peanuts. I have on here, you can just grab a bag of trail mix. Costco sells little individual packs. Grab one and go. It even has a little bit of chocolate in it. Dark chocolate especially is good for some short-term energy boosts. And goji berries, so if you like those Brookside goji blueberry packs, there you go. It's an excuse to eat candy-like things in the morning. Say that Nicole told you. It's good for energy. Okay, for long-term energy, it might sound kind of weird for the morning, but hummus is actually a really good option, as well as fruits like apples, pineapples, and most of the melons. Eggs are a really good protein and energy source to help keep you going, as well as herbal teas. If you don't like the caffeine in green tea, you can also try ginger teas or ginseng teas. And you want to drink water throughout the day, as that also is a good source of energy. And unprocessed oatmeal granola, the reason I put unprocessed up here is because you want to stay away from processed sugars. That can lead to a sugar crash later, because that kind of negates the whole benefit of the oatmeal granola. Nice. So why can't we wait? Why do we need to do this now? We're already tired. We feel like you have to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning to study for that test, or you put off doing your homework that's due Thursday until Wednesday night because you feel like you don't really understand it. Well, if you do this, some things other people have experienced is actual increase in schedule consistency. The more you do this and get up without hitting that snooze alarm and getting up at the same time, your body starts to wake itself up at that time. You might notice that you're waking up before your alarm, and you'll start to notice that you're going to bed at a time that's more reasonable because your body's helping you feel tired. And with this increased comprehension and increased efficiency throughout the day with this extra energy, then you're going to find that you don't have to wait till the day of the test to feel like you understand, because you have the drive, the motivation, and the energy to be studying ahead of time. And also kind of that whole hard to teach an old dog new tricks, just like starting a healthy diet or a healthy exercise routine at this age, starting a healthy sleeping schedule is also a lot easier now. So, time to wake up, pun intended. The 3 easy things are all you need to try and make this part of your morning routine, part of your morning ritual, is a better alarm, a better shower, and a better breakfast. And then you'll have better mornings.
Very good. All right. I have
have no idea who's going next. Who's going next again?
Me.
Okay,
But then I'll go after.
all right.
8:12.
8:12, 8:12. All right.
And then Carlos will do the time.
My phone doesn't have one.
So coffee's not good or something?
There's just other alternatives
Liar.
that can have like
I'm
a
serious.
caffeine tie-in that some people don't like, so I just offered other options.
Oh, okay.
Because having some food can be longer term than caffeine.
Were those apps or were those settings?
Those are apps.
Hey,
Those are apps.
okay.
Yes.
7
At
minutes.
least it's in there.
Our boss,
Okay,
who's
yeah. No, it's just apps.
What's up?
I love it. Any more questions?
So that's still working. No, go do what you're trying to do. Like something.
Yeah, it still gets loud, it just starts off
Oh,
quiet.
Apple.
And it has like, you can also use one of your own ringtones, so like just use your own music and stuff like that. Or it
The
has
images are very
like,
persuasive.
That's the point.
I hit my sneeze like a fart. I swear to my sneeze.
If I hit my sneeze.
I don't have to. I just have most of them.
I wouldn't want to. And I'm always up.
I love this class.
Oh, yeah?
I love when
I don't get out of bed.
I love sweet things.
But then by the time I get up,
I have like 3 hours and nothing.
No, thank you.
Professor.
He is, right?
No.
And it's like, it's weird that you're like, it's like you don't remember his name. Like, that's like
No, that's fine, that's fine.
Follow instructions.
That's it. Not Leeech though. Keep it straight. That's a blood sucker. An A in there.
All right, are we ready?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm ready.
Go.
Okay, so she's passing me out candy. So you know. Okay.
Okay, now it's on.
All right, so I chose to do my persuasive speech on the stereotype of men's versus women's sports. So first of all, what is a stereotype? Well, the definition of a stereotype is a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing. So in the sense that the woman is the caretaker of the children, the cleaner of the house, and the man goes out, does the hard sweaty work, and comes home, and just the cycle begins. Reinstates. So sports stereotype. This typical, oh my gosh, I can't talk today. The typical sports stereotypes are that the men play football, baseball, basketball. They do all, like I said, the sweaty, the hard work, and the women do the cheerleading or volleyball, softball, which is more of a non-contact, less intense sport. So here's Misty May and Carrie Walsh. Those are 2 Olympic volleyball champions, and then of course Michael Jordan. So a show of hands. How many of you have played or do play football? Girls as well. Okay. How many of you play or have played volleyball? Ooh, more than I thought. Awesome. And how many of you have played or participated in any of the other sports that were mentioned? Basketball, softball, track. Good. So it's a majority of everybody's doing every sport. That's awesome. So the studies do show, when asked by gender, that 90% of women said that they have played the sports like football, basketball, softball. Most women said that they played flag football, but there's also other types of football that girls do as far as tackle. And over 75% of men said that they played a sport besides football or basketball, so volleyball, for instance. So why is football stereotyped? So the game, like I said, football is typically the men do the hard work, they get tackled, they are sweaty, all of that, and then the cheerleaders are the girls on the side, standing there looking all cute, cheering on the guys. That's typically what it is. And this is the most common sport that is stereotyped, because they're pretty much pushing the women off to the side and saying, you just look good and we'll do the hard work. So, and then, yep, and that's just the picture. Women standing there looking cute, and then the men getting rough and tough. But in 1972, powder puff football started for girls. It started in high school, and they did this in order to increase the participation of girls in sports, because back then, girls did just the cheerleading. There was typically no other sport that girls participated in. So that's when they started powder puff football, and it's typically flag football, but they also do tackle. And also rugby. So rugby started in 1975, and it was made a women's sport in 1990. So it did take a while for women to start getting into that sport, but it also became, women's rugby became more known than men's rugby. And what rugby is it's kind of a football-soccer mix. So it's tackling, you can kick the ball, you can run with the ball, it's all kinds of crazy stuff. And this game is pretty intense, like you can tell there's some craziness going on over there. And obviously UFC, I put Ronda Rousey up there because she's the love of my life. But women's UFC, I mean, that just shows that women are getting down and dirty. They're also getting sweaty, they're getting beat up, they're going through all that stuff as well. And Ronda is the women's UFC champion. She's undefeated. She said she's the love of my life, so I'm putting it up there twice. So volleyball, what is it? Volleyball, in an easy definition, most of you have already played it, so you know what it is, but it's a typical game of keep the balloon off the floor. So when you were little, you would play back and forth, you'd hit the balloon to your friends or your brother and sister, and that's typically what volleyball is. The first game of volleyball was played in 1896. And in 1995, it celebrated its 100th birthday. So volleyball's been around for a while. Is it just a women's sport? Typically, it is stereotyped as a women's sport because of the bikinis or the short shorts and indoor. And this is, I mean, it's typically eye candy. Just like the cheerleaders, they're eye candy for the football players or for the fans. And that's why they stereotype volleyball as a women's sport, is because of the eye candy. But is it just a women's sport, or is it a men's sport as well? Well, there's two types of volleyball. There's indoor and there's beach, and men participate in both sports. They have been since it originated. The indoor volleyball, in 1985, the men took the Olympic gold medal for indoor volleyball, and in 1983, they started the first men's sand doubles Olympic volleyball. So it's been around for a while. And then this is the sand volleyball. Usually it's just doubles, so you play with two people, and then that's the indoor. Okay. I know, it has bad words in it, I'm sorry. What powder puff is.
Wow.
Where did it go? Okay. And then for volleyball,
A killer town. A killer time. A killer couple.
sorry. That did come up last time. Right. So this is Olympic sand volleyball. I was actually at this game. And this is men's. This is not as cool, but it just shows you kind of the difference in the two sports. Indoors typically play